Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going on a deep dive into a pretty unexpected pairing, artificial intelligence and nuclear power. Now you're probably aware that AI is, taking the world by storm with things like ChatGPT becoming part of our daily lives. But what you might not realize is the immense amount of energy all this AI requires. We're talking 10 times the energy of a simple Google search just to ask a chatbot a question. And as AI gets even more complex, well, the energy demand is going to skyrocket. That brings us to the surprising solution that tech giants are turning to: nuclear power. Yes, you heard that right. Nuclear power is making a comeback. And not just for AI, but investors are also taking note. So buckle up as we unpack this fascinating connection between cutting-edge AI and a, well, somewhat controversial energy source. The first thing we need to understand is the sheer scale of the energy crunch AI is creating. To give you a sense of just how much electricity we're talking about, imagine powering the entire country of the Netherlands. Everything from their homes to their businesses. That's roughly how much electricity AI and data centers could consume by 2027. And that's not even factoring in the energy demands of the cryptocurrency world, which is a whole other beast. And it's not just about the electricity either. Think about all the water needed to cool down these massive data centers. A recent study found that just a handful of ChatGPT prompts can use as much water as a standard bottle. That's a lot of H2O just to keep things running smoothly. This energy consumption obviously has environmental consequences, especially considering that many tech companies have pledged to become carbon neutral. But as their AI ambitions grow, so do their emissions, creating a bit of a dilemma, wouldn't you say? Now enter nuclear power. While it's been a controversial topic for decades, it's suddenly gaining traction as a potential answer to AI's energy demands. For example, Google just made headlines with a significant investment in nuclear power. They've partnered with a company called Kairos Power to buy electricity from 7 new small modular reactors. These mini reactors, set to be online by 2030, with more coming online in 2035, represent a big bet on a technology that's still in its early stages. Microsoft is also making a splash in the nuclear world with their ambitious plan to revive a defunct reactor at the infamous 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant in Pennsylvania. Considering the historical significance and controversies surrounding 3 Mile Island, you can imagine this move has sparked quite a debate. And, not to be outdone, Amazon has joined the nuclear club with a hefty $500 million deal with Dominion Energy. They're exploring the possibility of building a small modular nuclear reactor near their existing power station. Clearly, the tech giants are taking nuclear power very seriously. So what's driving this sudden nuclear resurgence? Well, nuclear power offers some key advantages that are particularly appealing for energy-hungry AI. First and foremost, it's a very reliable energy source. Unlike solar and wind power, which depend on the sun shining and the wind blowing, nuclear power plants can generate electricity 24/7 regardless of the weather. This constant energy flow is crucial for powering data centers that need to operate around the clock. Additionally, nuclear power is considered to be nearly carbon-free. It doesn't produce the greenhouse gas emissions associated with fossil fuels like coal or natural gas. This makes it an attractive option for companies aiming to reduce their carbon footprint and meet their sustainability goals. And let's not forget the financial side of things. Investors are starting to see nuclear power as a lucrative opportunity. Venture capitalists and private equity firms are pouring money into nuclear startups, sensing that this once-fading industry is on the verge of a major comeback. Now, it wouldn't be a true deep dive if we didn't explore both sides of the story. While nuclear power presents some undeniable benefits, it also comes with its own set of challenges and concerns. We'll delve into those right now. Now, before we get into those concerns surrounding nuclear power, it's important to note that tech companies aren't putting all their eggs in the nuclear basket. They're also exploring other renewable energy sources to power their AI ambitions, things like solar, wind, and geothermal. But can these renewables truly keep up with AI's insatiable hunger for energy? Let's start with solar and wind power. They've become much more efficient and affordable in recent years. However, they face a major hurdle: intermittency. The sun doesn't always shine, and the wind doesn't always blow. To rely on these sources, you need a way to store vast amounts of energy for when those sources aren't available. While battery technology is improving, it's not yet at a scale that can reliably power a data center 24/7. Then there's geothermal energy, which taps into the Earth's natural heat to generate electricity. It's a fascinating technology with the advantage of being a more consistent energy source than solar or wind. The catch is that geothermal plants typically need to be located in areas with high geothermal activity. This limits their widespread applicability compared to other renewables. So it seems like each renewable energy source has its pros and cons. Perhaps the ultimate solution lies in a mix and match approach, combining different sources based on location, specific needs, and available resources. It's like creating a diversified energy portfolio to mitigate risks and maximize potential. But even with a multifaceted approach, the question remains, can we power the AI revolution without causing further environmental damage? It's a question that keeps many experts up at night. Now, let's dive into the other side of the nuclear coin. Those who advocate for nuclear power see it as a clean and reliable path toward a future with lower carbon emissions. They point to its ability to provide baseload power, meaning it can consistently generate electricity regardless of weather conditions. This is a stark contrast to renewables like solar and wind, which can be unpredictable. Proponents also highlight advancements in nuclear technology. Modern reactors are designed with safety in mind, far surpassing the older reactors that led to accidents like 3 Mile Island in Chernobyl. Small modular reactors, for instance, incorporate passive safety features that make meltdowns virtually impossible. But the concerns surrounding nuclear power are valid and can't be dismissed. Critics point to the potential for accidents no matter how small the risk. And then there's the issue of long-term radioactive waste disposal. What do you do with material that remains dangerous for thousands of years? It's a question that still needs a definitive answer. It's also important to remember that nuclear power isn't truly renewable. It relies on uranium, a finite resource that requires mining and processing. While it might be a better alternative to fossil fuels in terms of carbon emissions, it's not a perfect solution. Another critical point is the timeline. Nuclear projects, even those involving smaller modular reactors, can take years, even decades, to plan, build, and become operational. Meanwhile, the demand for AI energy is happening right now. This raises an important question. Are tech companies prioritizing AI progress over immediate climate action? It's a complex dilemma with no easy answers. Clearly, nuclear power presents a mix of advantages and disadvantages. It's a potential solution, but not without its drawbacks. And the fact that tech giants are now leading the nuclear resurgence raises even more questions. What happens when these powerful corporations gain control over a major energy source? How do we ensure equitable access to this energy? And how do we prevent potential misuse? These are critical questions that we need to address as we move toward an AI-powered future.
But the implications of this tech-driven nuclear revival go beyond just the environmental and safety aspects. There's another layer we need to consider. What happens when a handful of powerful tech companies become major players in the energy sector? It's a scenario that brings up a whole host of questions about market dominance, access to resources, and the potential for these companies to wield significant influence over governments and policies. Imagine a world where companies like Google or Amazon not only control the information we access, but also the energy that powers our homes and businesses. It's a thought-provoking, perhaps even unsettling vision of the future. We're already seeing hints of this shift in how these companies invest in and contract for nuclear power.
Yeah.
They're not just buying energy for their own data centers. They're looking at the possibility of becoming energy suppliers to others. This could create a whole new dynamic in the energy market, with tech giants potentially competing with traditional utilities. It begs the question, who will benefit from this new energy landscape, and who might get left behind?
Will these companies prioritize their needs and profits? Or will they act as responsible stewards of a resource that's essential for everyone? These are crucial questions that policymakers and regulators need to be thinking about right now. We need to ensure that the playing field remains level and that the benefits of this new energy paradigm are shared broadly, not just concentrated in the hands of a select few powerful corporations. We also need to be vigilant about the potential for these companies to leverage their energy control to influence political decisions or stifle competition. The convergence of AI and nuclear power presents a fascinating but complex situation, one that offers both opportunities and challenges. It's crucial that we approach this new era with a clear understanding of both the potential benefits and the inherent risks. And it's essential that we engage in a robust public conversation about the implications of this shift, involving not just tech companies and policymakers, but also citizens, scientists, and ethicists. The future of AI, and perhaps the future of our planet, hinges on how we navigate this uncharted territory. Now, let's shift our focus back to those other renewable energy options and delve into why they might not be enough to fully power the AI revolution. Now, we've been unpacking this complex relationship between AI's energy demands and the surprising resurgence of nuclear power. But as we've seen, it's not a simple equation. There are valid concerns and ethical considerations that we need to address head-on. One thing that stands out is the sheer scale of the energy challenge. The demand for AI is growing at an incredible pace, and we need solutions that can keep up while also tackling the urgent issue of climate change. This raises the question, Are we, as a society, willing to accept the risks associated with nuclear power in pursuit of those solutions? And what about the role of those tech giants we've been discussing? They have the resources and the expertise to drive innovation in both AI and clean energy. But their track record when it comes to things like data privacy and market dominance, well, it doesn't exactly inspire universal trust. So, can we rely on these companies to act responsibly with the power they're accumulating? And what role should governments play in ensuring that nuclear energy is developed and used for the benefit of all, not just for the profit of a few? This whole situation feels like something out of a science fiction movie, doesn't it? We have these incredibly powerful tech companies pushing the boundaries of artificial intelligence, and now they're stepping into the energy business in a big way. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting, wouldn't you say? We need to think carefully about the potential consequences. Nuclear power is a powerful tool, and like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It's essential that we make sure it's used responsibly and that appropriate safeguards are in place. This situation underscores the need for a more holistic approach to innovation. We can't just focus on developing new technologies without considering their impact on society, the economy, and the environment. We need to think about energy justice, data privacy, and the potential for AI to worsen existing inequalities. It's crucial that the benefits of AI and clean energy are shared widely, not just concentrated among a select few. That brings us to a crucial question. What role can you play as a listener, as a citizen, in shaping this future? The first step is to stay informed. Read articles, listen to podcasts like this one, discuss these issues with others. The more we understand, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions and advocate for positive change. And don't underestimate the power of getting involved. There are many organizations working on AI, energy, and climate change. Find one that resonates with you and explore ways to contribute. Whether you volunteer your time, donate to a cause, or contact your elected officials, every action makes a difference. Most importantly, don't shy away from asking tough questions. Challenge the status quo. Demand transparency from tech companies and policymakers, and push for solutions that are innovative and ethical. We all have a role to play in shaping the future, and we need to ensure that technology serves humanity, not the other way around. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the unexpected world of AI and nuclear power, I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question. What if the future of AI, this technology, with the potential to reshape so many aspects of our lives, hinges on a technology that, well, many thought was fading into the past? What if the future of AI depends on nuclear power? It's a question worth pondering as we navigate this complex and ever-changing landscape of energy and technology. Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive. Keep exploring, keep questioning. Let's work together to create a future where AI and energy can power a brighter tomorrow for everyone. Until next time.